Comedy talk at its worst. It's the Lunatic Radio Show.
Show. I forget how to do this. Hello, the laziest broadcasters in goddamn podcasting history coming at you.
What do we do here? What would you say you do here?
I don't know. I tell you what, Rock used to drive an hour and a half to the radio show each and every week.
With energy.
With energy.
Nope. Like all with spunk and gusto and chutzpah.
And then for a period of time, I used to drive to his studio.
Right. Wait, and I used to be nervous. Like, oh, do we have enough things to talk about? Nervous.
I will tell you this. This studio is located 8 feet from my bed. 8 feet. And it's hard for me to get in here.
Right, because it's like, oh, I could just go to bed.
Could just go to bed.
It's very tempting.
Could watch Netflix and chill.
That's right.
Fuck it, you know?
Or podcast and slow death.
But I want to thank our fans out there, Wonder Bros Mike and Just Jim. Remember those two?
Jub. Yeah, absolutely.
Jub and Just Jim. The reason why we're doing a radio show today is because those two guys were like, hey, what happened to the show? I was like,
say every week.
Don't worry, we'll be back. We'll be back and doing it. I'll do it this weekend. Yeah, you know.
We're getting older, man. Like, we have shit going on now. It's just tough.
Yeah.
And we're getting older. We're just tired.
Yeah, it's like you got
a lot of things.
I love doing the radio show, but I loathe doing prep work. I fucking don't want to do it. Right. I just don't want to do it.
It's work. It's unpaid work.
So, be honest with you, it's been pretty good. Like taking these huge gaps between shows. Right. Because I still take notes. Like I'm not lazy. I'm not at that point where I just can't take notes about anything interesting that I see. So I do take notes and I write all this shit down. And, you know, by the time we get around to doing another show, I got a bunch of shit.
Sure.
Like the little stupid tidbits or whatever, you know? Who knows if I'm ever going to talk about him today? Because Pete Dredge, I wanted to get that out for 3 weeks. Pete Buttigieg is a former candidate for president on the Democratic side.
Wow, breaking news.
Yeah, he quit. He's a gay man. He's a gay man. But everybody has trouble saying Buttigieg, his last name. Buttigieg, right? So I just figured I'd simplify and call him Dredge. That was my genius. You know, that's one of the notes I made. You know, that's one of the notes I made.
That's great. I'm glad you jotted that down.
I was watching CNN and I just like, you know, the CNN's like, they're like the ESPN of NFL analysts. People.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They have one guy who's the anchor in the middle and then 27 people on each side of him analyzing the same fucking thing. It's fucking insane. Like, I've come to the another note I've jotted down. Every time you hear this, this is coming from my notes. Thoughts coming from my notes. And this is not anything groundbreaking, but it is fucking dangerous. We all need to stop watching the news. We have to stop because the news organizations in this moment in time in history, are controlling everything.
Yes.
It's our dumb president watches Fox and Friends and then tweets shit about what he's going to do during the day based on what Fox and Friends is talking about. It's ridiculous, dude.
It's scary.
Our president gave Rush Limbaugh the Medal of Freedom or something. Rush Limbaugh.
Right.
If some dude congressman, anybody from Washington goes, oh, I want to give you a medal for doing the podcast, I'd be like, no, don't link me with you because there's some shit I've said in the past. I'm going to get canceled, and then you're going to get canceled. We're all going to get canceled.
We're a couple years away from Hulk Hogan getting the Purple Heart.
It's insane, man. And here's the thing. Like, I'm watching fucking Anderson. I watch predominantly CNN, just because CNN's the first cable news 24 hours. It's the first one. It's the original one.
Yeah. Technically,
I stay with the original. It's not because I'm lean left.
The OGs.
Or I'm blowing Bernie Sanders.
Wow.
No, I'm not. I just stay there. I like Donnie Lemon.
Yo, boy.
He's very sassy. No, but I watch CNN. I don't know the reason why, because I watch Fox too every once in a while, but predominantly CNN. But I watch it and I'm just like, all right, they have these analyst shows, like Anderson Cooper sitting in the middle, and he's got literally 4 other people up to the side of him, and then he's got like 8 political analysts with him, and it's just like, if you're watching this and you're just a layman watching that, trying to figure out what the news is, like they can put all those people on that, they can decide for you who you need to vote for.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what happens. And then you watch the debates, which they need to get rid of. All the debates need to get rid of. And certainly in the primaries, when you have like fucking 30 people running for president, the moderators in every one of those debates could just based on the questioning of each candidate, can make one candidate look better than the next.
It's true. It's true.
Like Michael Bloomberg came into the race. Clearly, he's not the greatest communicator of all time, but they threw him in with the wolves. They threw him in with people that were debating already 8 times together. They already know each other. And the first question of Michael Bloomberg was like, hey, I heard you call a woman a fat broad. Go.
Thoughts?
Welcome to the race. Like his run was over right there.
Pretty much.
And that was a moderator saying that to him.
No, for sure. I liked it. And also when the Latino moderator went right after Klobuchar and being like, so you didn't know the Mexican president, huh?
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Right.
You want to be president, but you don't know the Mexican president? Thoughts? Go.
Don't you think? I mean, those things, it's insanity.
She was sassy too.
And then like the next debate came around and then it's like, oh, Bernie's in the lead. We got to get rid of Bernie. So they started pestering Bernie with shit questions.
They just want to keep on filtering around people. So someone else is in the lead. So it keeps it more interesting. They're kind of dictating this closeness of it because, I mean, this is kind of new, having all these 30 some odd people running. I mean, I know we're dwindling it down, but there's still a lot of people involved. I mean, historically speaking, correct me if I'm wrong, this is kind of unheard of these past 2 elections with this amount of people still left this far along into the election. And I think it's partially because of the news, is because they're kind of they keep, it's kind of like when a game kind of gets out of hand, they try to find ways to fill because there's nothing they can do about it. So they're just filling with stupid stories and historical stories. They don't want to have to fill. They want to keep this thing going as long as possible. So they're kind of like the Buffalo Wild Wings in those commercials where they're like, oh, we're gonna have a guy this game going to overtime. They're dictating how this is happening. Because a couple weeks ago it was Bernie Sanders. Now Biden's getting some more of the juice.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe in another in the next one coming up, maybe they'll give it to Bloomberg to keep it all interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking insane, man. Yeah, I thoroughly think that the news is the most dangerous thing out there right now. Even more dangerous than fucking Trump, because Trump's so dumb. I don't even know.
Look at the coronavirus. The news is just blowing out the coronavirus so much and causing so much hysteria. I mean, is it serious? Yes. But is it, I mean, the flu kills so much more people a year. The numbers right now are not completely factual, and they're just the news is making people so nervous. And God damn it, this past week in the stock market, man, if you had stocks this week, you lose. I lost bad this week. Holy Jesus. So it's like, it doesn't help because everybody's fucking scared for a cold, essentially, that's killing some people. The flu kills 36,000 people a year. No one's talking about that.
Right. Yeah. Again, if you watch CNN, you think the coronavirus is a giant blob that's just gonna surround the earth and we're all gonna fucking die.
It's just a matter of time before it rolls through your town.
Like literally, I've been, I turned CNN on and it's just coronavirus, and then it's like political shit. And I ordered like a pair of boots from China, and they're coming from China, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want them anymore, based on the news that I'm getting from CNN. Because I feel like it's just going to be a box of coronavirus with some boots there.
Kieran's like, do I get a box of Coronas with them? Do I get a sixer with it?
I literally was like, I want to see where that box is coming from in China. Like, is it coming from Wangpong or whatever the fuck it's called? What's the name of that city?
Wuhan.
Yeah.
Wuhan, I got you all in check. Like the Busta Rhymes song.
Wuhan.
By the way, speaking of Corona, sales are down because, true story, people are thinking that the coronavirus is somehow connected to Idiocracy, bro. That's somehow connected to Corona beers, so people are not buying Corona beers. True story.
You got to be kidding me.
True story.
This is why we need to eradicate rednecks. That is the biggest problem.
That's where you go.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Right to the heart of it.
Eradicate rednecks because they're dumb. Enough with your fucking, yeah. Oh my God. Is that serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes. Twitter is having some fun with that one because people are scared to buy Corona now.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking insane. The news controls too much. It's I can't watch it. Like I want to watch it because it pisses me off, but it's like Joe Biden. Like, not like I want to.
People live for train wrecks, man. You know, the Weather Channel is a perfect example. They live for like fucking blizzards, man. And they make so much money during blizzards, and they blow, even when the storm doesn't even turn into like just dropping 2 inches, they got to blow it out and make like it's this devastating thing.
Yeah, but right now we're in like a presidential race, and they're literally I'm telling you, they're deciding the race for us.
So who do you think they're doing? You think that it's going to be Biden now?
It's going to be Biden.
Yeah. Because
Biden, because it's not going to be much of a race between Bernie and Trump. Trump even wants Bernie because Trump knows he can beat Bernie. So now they want Biden, and they're just pushing for Biden and Biden looks like he died last week.
Biden's not going to
He looks dead. Trump. He's dead. And Biden was dead 2 days ago. 4 days ago, Biden was dead. I mean, not like his candidacy was dead.
Yeah.
And then now he's the winner, and then everybody's out. I'm like, what happened to Mike? What happened to Mini Mike? I was all gung-ho to vote for Mini Mike. I think
that was the one thing that his campaign didn't plan for, is the fact that to be so far behind, in interviews and these roundtables or whatever you want to call them. So like when people throw questions, these other people are ready, and he's just like hamana. I don't know how to speak.
And he's not a very fast talker like Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire that jumped into the race. He's not a very fast talker. So when he came into when you do those debates where you have to like answer in 10 seconds and you have to like scream out your answer and do it really fast.
Yep.
He just gets killed. He got killed, and it's just over. And then, I mean, he had these NDAs or something.
Yep.
I mean, every company has NDAs,
Warren took him out to dry, though, man.
Elizabeth Warren just goes, and she's phony as fuck if you watch that, because she goes, you said some bad shit about women, and then you got these NDAs. You got NDAs against 3 women, so you must be a rapist. Like, and that's all the country hears. And Mike has 15 seconds to rebut that, and he can't. There's no way. And then she just continues to hammer him, and every guy knows watching in that audience on that day they know that Mike's done because he can't win that argument against the woman. You can't. It's over.
Listen, Trump rewrote how to handle these situations. Just throw words out.
Yeah,
because it's so fast, and people just hear little blips, little moments, and that's all that counts. So they heard NDA. That was it.
Right.
NDA. You have a lot of them, and you can't. And you have a response to it.
They heard NDA, and that he said something bad about women 30 years ago.
That's it.
And that's it. That's it. And that's all you're going to hear. And that's that's the headline. And your candidacy is done because the way that debate format is set up, it's a fucking speed round and you have no chance to answer it. It's fucking insane. That's why that shit needs to go. I'm all cool with the town halls. Like CNN does these town halls. I'm cool with that. Keep the town hall thing going. But the debates and the primaries, if you're not down to 2 people, get rid of them. There's no fucking point to them. Because
it really is like a game show. It's who can answer the quickest and with the most poignant things, like fastest, most poignant comments. That's it.
I mean, look,
it's like have a Jeopardy buzzer and be like, NDA, Warren wins that round. It's like,
I got
so quick.
I got a picture of Joe Biden here. Just brought up on the screen.
That's nice. That's
look,
nice view.
He looks like one of those wax figures that's in one of them fucking museums. Like it's, he's dead. Joe Biden's dead. He's not. I feel like it's a Weekend at Bernie's type situation with Joe Biden at this moment. It's fucking. You saw him like in one of the debates. He was talking so fast because he had to do the rapid fire answer. His like dentures fell out. Like his mouth was going too fast for his dentures, and his dentures just bailed on the whole situation. Yeah, look at him, man. Why are there so many old candidates now, too?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
What happened to the youth movement?
Yeah, really?
We had Tulsi Gabbard, who's 38. We had Mike Dredge, who was 38. But other than that, everybody's fucking 70 plus.
I don't understand why these old people want to run. It's so. I mean, they always show every time a president's not, when they're nominated, and then 4 years later, how much they age. Like how it's so taxing to be a president. I don't understand how you can be in your mid and upper 70s and wanting to be president at that point.
My father is Michael Bloom. My father's the same age as Bernie, Joe Biden, and Mike Bloomberg, and I think Elizabeth Warren too. She's old too, right?
Yeah, she's up there.
My father can barely get from the fucking. It takes him about an hour and a half to get from his bedroom to the living room, and it's not very far.
Right.
I can't imagine my father doing anything other than breathing.
Right.
Just breathe, Dad. That's all I need you to do.
Exactly.
Breathe, watch the Golf Channel. Yet these motherfuckers are his age running for president.
That's scary.
Now,
That's scary.
I get it that my dad's in worse health than they are, but
it was still.
they're like Rock and I were Rock and I are half their ages. We don't even want to do the podcast because we're tired from our 40-hour-a-week jobs. These guys are going to run the fucking country and be awake for the next 4 years, constantly on the go, and they're my dad's age, Like, you're supposed to wrap it up. My dad's...
Bernie Sanders going to take like a 3 a.m. call because something's going on in Afghanistan?
No,
you think he's gonna...
Bernie's going to be tired as fuck. He's not going to be able to do it. I think Joe Biden's got to get up to put in his teeth before he's got to do some shit. There's no way.
The age is the scary. And Bloomberg's, oddly enough, he doesn't look it, but he's up there too. He's one of the oldest ones as well.
Yeah, Bloomberg's
not
up
the
there.
oldest.
Yeah, it's short people age slower. I feel like Mini Mike is a good idea. By the way, did you see fucking? I know we're doing politics today, and I'm gonna give Donald Trump some fucking credit. I think I had this video. I think I have it here. Here it is. This is Trump at like the CPAC conference, and he's literally doing stand-up comedy about Mike Bloomberg. Can you see it, Rock, yet?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You're on a delay. All right, let me play this, and there'll be some audio, and we'll have some fun with this. Here we go.
Killing me. Remember, she was dropping like a rock. But I learned something. Never do it too early. A year and a half before the election, I said, what am I doing? I should have saved it. But that's all right. Because she had those burning embers, and then she started, but ultimately she failed.
He's talking about Elizabeth Warren, but he does a Mini Mike joke here. It's fucking crazy.
She's gone, sir. But she was really mean to Mini Mike. I'll tell you, the way she treated her. He didn't know what hit him.
Trump is he is the wrestler. He's a wrestler.
He is.
Because he calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, and he calls Mike Bloomberg Mini Mike because he's short.
He's doing exactly like wrestling. He's doing promos.
Right.
He's doing promos.
He calls Joe Biden Sleepy Joe Biden, and I don't know what he calls Bernie. I don't even know. I'm sure he's got a nickname for him.
Oh, No, get me off of this stage. Get me off. Get me off of this stage.
He ducks down. See him? He ducks down.
I see it. Yeah,
it's behind the podium.
Yo, you gotta be so quick. I mean, listen, Donald Trump isn't exactly the funniest guy, but he's so quick, and that's the whole thing. And it's just like it's funny you mentioned wrestling because he did do stuff with WWF back in the day, WWE, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure he's always been in the camera. He's been in the camera for so many years, man. And honestly, nowadays everything's in front of the camera. Politics, just like you're talking about with these. These news programs, it's infotainment. I mean, this is why he was able to win, and he's able to maintain this because he's good on camera.
Look at him. This is the president of the United States joking about, a
short person.
This is not the correspondence dinner. This is not him being, off, after hours, doing the speech that, the comedy writers give him. This is him at a CPAC thing just riffing. He literally is hilarious right here. And it's pretty funny.
He's gonna win again.
Oh yeah. Look at him. I saw that. I was like, man, that's pretty fucking funny. He did a good job right there. People love him, man.
I mean, generally speaking, presidents usually get the full 8 years because the consensus is, from what I understand is that the first 4 years you're getting established. So the public feels like, okay, now these 4 years you're going to be able to get shit done. Unless you're a complete dud of a president, generally speaking, presidents do the full 8 terms.
Yeah. It's looking like he's gonna do it.
But none of these people. I mean, maybe Bernie.
Well, they say Bernie's too far left.
Yeah, he's like,
and he's like, everything.
He's like Stalin's not a bad guy.
Yeah, everything's free. He's got Sarah Silverman backing him. I don't know if that's enough.
Forget it.
I get it.
I should just get Bonnie McFarlane at that point.
By the way, I watched a female comic last night who was actually very good.
Oh, who?
She's blonde. I forget her. She's blonde. I forget. I think I have it written down. I think
she had a nice rack. I don't know.
She's pretty hot. What the fuck is her name?
Not Nicole Schlesinger.
Elijah Schlesinger.
I knew it. Of course it was her.
Yeah, that chick is fucking smart as hell, man. She had a new special on the old Netflix. I watched it and I was like, that's not bad. That's pretty.
Yeah, Schlesinger's. Yeah, she's
doing
well. She's doing well for herself.
She speaks very fast. She's very smart. She uses big words. You gotta like stop it and look them up. What are you talking about? Stop with the big words. I'm a dumb guy. She was pretty funny though.
Yeah, I've heard her on Jim and Sam show a few times, but she's done other stuff too. I forgot where else I saw her. She's been on TV. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. She's doing pretty well for herself. But
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, what is it like? It's like, where does comedy take you now? I mean, like you get these Netflix gigs, but now it's like the Netflix gig. Everyone's got a Netflix gig. It's like everyone's got a podcast now.
I'll tell you this. I'll give you some reviews on some Netflix shows I watched. The Elijah Schlesinger hour was great. I watched the Ray Romano one. That was brutal.
Wow. Oh, really?
It was not good. Ray should just go back to playing golf. Playing golf at Pebble Beach and doing your side gig jobs and big movies with real actors. Do that.
Wow.
Stand-up not his thing anymore. Jerry Seinfeld is a fucking machine because I watched his latest one. The guy he's an amazing stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Fucking legendary, awesome, balls to the wall. Pete Davidson stinks.
You saw that? I heard about it. I have not seen it.
Brutal.
No.
Oh, he laughs every time. He's like, my mom, she's the greatest of all time. He laughs at everything he does. Like, stop that.
We seen him like at the stand and stuff, and he was good, man. Before he went to SNL.
He was good. I've seen, Rock and I saw him at the stand when he was a kid before SNL.
Yeah.
And he was great. But this stand, it's just terrible. Wasn't even like,
Oh, that's too bad.
It didn't.
He's got a lot going on, man. He's got a lot going on in his head, man. And like apparently he was like bitching about SNL in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it isn't bad. It's like
No, not bad, but he was making comments about SNL.
yeah. He
And like, you know,
he said that Louis C.K. tried to get him fired or something. But really, the story's not even that bad. The story's not even that bad. It's not even that bad of a story. It's like you know, I don't know. I feel like he just didn't have much to say. Like I was listening to his like he did a whole bit about Ariana Grande.
Oh really?
And I'm like, he didn't even say much about that. I'm like, what? Okay, you know, like his whole bit was just like, all right, so what?
Well, now it's kind of a you know I don't know. I mean I don't want to defend him, but I mean I'm just gonna say he's probably in a tough position now where he wants to say things, but he's in such the limelight now. You know, he doesn't want to burn bridges. So it's a tough, I mean, I don't know. Comedians don't usually give a shit about burning bridges.
But your art is being funny, being outrageous, saying stuff that folks don't normally say.
Yeah. We live in a weird world, man.
Now, I mean, you know? Our president's more raw than Pete Davidson.
Right. Yeah. Really.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Come on. Pete's supposed to be the guy that, you know, tell us about finger banging, Ariana. Who gives a shit? You know, she talked about your dick.
He could not do that.
But she talked about his dick.
What do you mean?
She talked about his dick. The reason why everybody's like the big dick energy thing came about is because Ariana Grande said that Pete Davidson had a giant dick.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a whole bit on the thing.
Wow, she could, and I don't even remember this, but it clearly, and there was no slack about it. Like she didn't get any like bad feedback about it, huh?
Nothing. No. I mean, it's
a funny world we live in because my immediate reaction is if he started
your
talking
immediate
about
erection. Hold on, did you say your immediate erection?
No. Well, and we're talking. No.
Go ahead.
My immediate reaction with the whole finger banging thing with Pete Davidson is like, oh, he can't say that. That's just going to cause problems. #MeToo.
Right.
But meanwhile, she does the whole big dick thing, and it's like, oh, she's just making comments. You know, no big deal. But you know, it's just a funny world we live in now because he can't make those comments about her. You know.
Yeah, but he's a comic. He's a New York comic, and he should be able to fucking.
Matter.
It sucks.
Comics are under so much scrutiny now, man. It's tough being a comic. It's so tough being a comic.
I was watching that sort of clip of that Karen Feehan. Is that her name? Do you know what she is?
Sounds familiar.
She's like a pretty hot. She's a comic. She plays the stand all the time. She's been on the Jimmy Sam show. She does like a lot of podcasts.
Yes. I've heard her. She always talks about her love life.
Right. Yeah. And she
that's
always
her shtick.
If you go
she likes to talk about her love life.
If you go on her Instagram, it's always about her ass, like her just butt pictures.
She put up she's like one of those comedian models.
She put up a clip. She put up a minute clip of herself at the stand doing stand up, and in that minute clip, it was the most dirtiest shit I've ever heard of my, like in the last 10 years. I'm like, maybe female comics now have it. And they're going, you know, they can do the hard shit material, and the guys can't. I don't know. Wow. She was literally talking about fucking a Peloton bike. I don't know. It was just like it was pretty funny.
Real like that was real. That was. Are you just saying something, or is that like kind of really what she was going?
She was
like,
really.
That was her joke?
Yeah, she literally was like taking spin classes, and her friends make fun of her because they feel like she inserts the seat into her vagina. And
she seems like one of those comics, though. Is like she's just using her sexuality to her advantage. I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Yeah,
just saying that she's taking advantage of the situation.
You got it, fucking use it, man. Why not? Who gives a shit? You know, there are guys out there who used to do the same shit. You know, it doesn't translate for guys though. If you're a good-looking guy and you're a stand-up, people like almost don't. They don't take you as a stand-up.
No, they don't. I couldn't tell you a good-looking comedian. Who's a good-looking comedian guy?
That's why fucking Dan Cook became annoying because he started to take care of himself.
Great point.
He started looking really good, became a movie star type guy, and people are like, "This guy sucks now." We don't
after we interviewed him, then he sucked.
After we interviewed him, he sucked. Yeah,
then he sucked.
Yeah, started sucking. People didn't like it. Yeah,
that's a great. See, there you go. Yeah, Dane Cook is a great example. He's a good-looking guy. Like, fuck him.
We want our female comedians to be hot, like Eliza Schlesinger and
No,
Karen
I just want them to
Feehan.
be funny. I don't care.
I think
Like for example,
Rock has
I don't
hatred
think
for female comics, by the way.
no. Stop it. So for example, and I don't mean this in any sort of disrespect, I do not find Michelle Wolf attractive, and I think she's very funny.
She's hilarious, actually. Michelle
Yeah.
Wolf is very hilarious.
I just for me, she's not my thing, which is fine. There's
She's got a
nothing
good
wrong with
ass,
that.
though. That Michelle Wolf's got a good ass.
Fine.
She's
But I'm
got a
just
great
saying,
ass.
it's not about. I think it just comes down to. I feel like the Feehan, having heard her on the show, she likes to just, and she talks about her Instagram stuff. Like she likes to flaunt her sexuality.
Yeah. The girl loves showing her ass. I mean, I've never met Karen Feehan. I literally know what her taint looks like just by following.
So there you go.
I
I
know.
don't understand that.
Like if Karen came over and was just she doesn't even have to take her clothes off for me. Like I know what her
Yeah,
ass.
it's like you already know. You already know.
I know what your ass looks like.
Yeah.
Seen it. It is odd.
It is odd.
So strange world we live in. I was talking to this guy the other day. A guy at work. You don't really. I was like, do you remember when fucking taking a picture of yourself would be the most bizarre thing in the world for somebody else to see? Like for somebody to see you take a picture of yourself, it would be insanity. But now it's so commonplace.
Yeah.
It's fine. Fine. God.
A cool teacher in the chat room, Joey Coy. That name sounds familiar. Joey Coy. Joe Coy. Yeah, he's a comedian. I don't know if he's attractive or not.
Cool teacher agreeing in the chat room. Pete Davidson was awful.
Yeah.
He was doing the one thing that anybody would criticize about a comic, and laughing at his setups. Almost, he would laugh at his setups. He would bring up a topic and go, and then get into the joke.
That I can't defend. I know that there is a thing that comedians will do to laugh to kind of help create a pause or maybe accentuate a joke.
Right.
But the way you're describing it, if that's true, yeah, that's just being like you're just high. He probably was high when he was taping.
Yeah. I don't know what we talked about. What did we talk about? Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking about Netflix, are we going to talk about The Lobster at all?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, before the show, I was trying to get those clips from The Lobster, and I couldn't find them because I think I wrote down the wrong fucking times. I don't know how to talk about the movie The Lobster.
I don't know either. Well, the point is that Karen mentioned this movie, The Lobster, and oddly enough, we never talked about this. I've been wanting to for literally a good year and a half, possibly 2 years. Been wanting to watch it. I just haven't had the opportunity. And Kieran mentioned it, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna find some time. And then when I just kind of picked at it when I was on the elliptical throughout the week, a couple weeks ago, and I just watched the whole movie.
It is, let me see if I can try to find the.
I was so interested by the trailer, and then after watching the film, the trailer is completely pointless. Really, it really doesn't assist you in the film because the film is very unique.
Yeah, here it is. That's the trailer. Should I play the trailer? No.
I don't think so because the trailer just doesn't make sense and it's a lot of visuals.
I'm gonna bring up the see if I can bring this up just so people have a visual of what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, here it is on Amazon. It's a movie starring Colin Farrell and there's actually some good actors in this movie.
Yeah, John C. Reilly's in it, which I was surprised.
I don't know how to explain it. Other than that, it's the strangest movie I've seen. But it's so it's good. It's so good. And there's so many lines. There are lines that I'm getting these lines. I wrote down timestamps when I was watching it about lines that I wanted to grab. So I was like, I was trying to find them before the show, but I think I'm off on my lines or something. I'm off on my timestamps. How do you describe it? It's just odd, right? It's
an odd film. Basically, the premise of the film is that you have 45 days. If you're single, they want everybody in relationships in this kind of like a post-apocalyptic world. And if you're not in a relationship, you get sent to this limbo hotel, if you will, and you have 45 days to find a mate. And if you don't, you have to turn into an animal or whatever.
Was they called
Colin,
a loner? What are they called? A loner?
Yeah, I think a loner. And Colin Firth's character decided that his animal would be, if he doesn't find a mate, he would want to turn into a lobster.
Why do they turn into things? Is that explained? I don't remember.
It's just a weird world.
After 45 days, you turn into something.
Yeah.
You turn it
they
like
didn't get to explain why you should. I guess I would assume that, like, because as a different species, you'd have an opportunity to at least serve a purpose and or find a mate in that other species.
Right.
I guess to control the population. Yeah, they didn't really get into like the why this apocalyptic world where you have to have a mate is necessary kind of a situation, you know?
Right. Yeah. And at this hotel, when you're a loner and you're trying to find a mate, the 45 days you can't jerk off.
Yeah.
Like
they didn't even get into like where they had to handcuff themselves behind the belt. They didn't really get into why that was a thing.
Well, it's for jerking off. Like they wanted.
Oh, that's why it was?
Off. Yeah. You remember the one guy that was caught jerking off, and they
put the hand in the toaster.
The administration accosted him in the fucking dining room, going, "You were caught watching porno, sir." And
it was John C. Reilly's character.
John C. Reilly's character. Yeah, he's like, "No, it wasn't. I wasn't doing that." It's just the strangest fucking movie. And then there's like these renegade people who live in the woods. I forget what they're called though, and they have their own like little renegade community, but it's kind of evil. It's like an evil.
They're trying to fight they're the resistance essentially.
Yeah,
they're trying to fight off these, these changing the hotel people, if you will.
Right, because they're
It's kind of bizarre, kind of talking about this if you don't watch about.
You have to watch this.
It's such a weird film.
It came out in 2015, I believe, right?
Yeah. I'm still so caught up, honestly, the whole handcuff and the belt thing, because they kind of skipped over like how he took his pants off, and it was so difficult. I was like, how the fuck did he get his pants back on? Like the next day. And this was just like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Brett Mourning is great too. Who's that? Oh, was that a comedian? The Lobster with Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz is a hidden gem. You have to watch this fucking
film.
It could be one of those. It's got that fucking idiocracy feel to it. Like, I feel like people will be talking about that movie in little drips and drabs for years to come because it's so weird. Like Clockwork Orange.
Yes,
It's
that's
got that.
Yeah, it's got that. Yeah, Clockwork Orange, because it's kind of like this post-apocalyptic world kind of a feel. Like things change, and this is like the world they live in now.
Right.
I got a kick out of the fact that like they said, so if you met your mate while you're in the hotel situation, you get to spend some time. You go on a yacht, kind of have a good time. But if there's any sort of rough situations, they would throw in a child to kind of help.
Just throw a kid in with the group to help the fighting, because
help maybe kind of create a whole familia kind of a situation.
But in order to become a couple, you had to have two things in common, like you both like you both were left-handed.
It's just so bizarre.
You can't, and you couldn't date the other. You're a partner who's right-handed and you're left-handed. It's like a weird. Right. It's such a weird movie, but I suggest watching it. It's fucking entertaining. You watch it without distractions. You have to watch it without distractions.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
If you got kids running around the house, or your girlfriend's fucking being a pain in the ass, or your boyfriend's being a pain in the ass, if you got noise happening, a drill, somebody's doing construction next door, somebody's mowing a lawn, don't watch it. But watch it when it's silent and you got time and you can pay attention, because it's fucking riveting. You're just be like, what? It's fucking entertaining as fuck, man. There's so many good lines in that movie. There's so many good lines.
So I feel like if Kieran and I were wound up at the hotel, I think we would wind up together, because we would have things in common.
But they allow gay shit. I don't. Was there gay couples?
Was there gay shit? No, there wasn't gay shit.
It wasn't gay stuff. I would never. What would my animal be after the? Because I'm never.
There's a question. What would your animal be?
I can't find a fucking.
So Colin Firth's character picked the lobster because apparently they could last for a very long time. He gave some other facts about lobsters that I had no idea about. Like, they could have multiple mates or whatever, things like that.
I would want to be a.
And I never even thought about what animal would I want to be. I want to be like maybe an ape. An ape comes to mind, strong and powerful, and
I don't know, an ape.
yeah, big hanging, big swinging.
Oh, because you can still jerk off because those apes jerk off all the time. Yeah, I think
That's right. That's right.
I think I'd be a monkey. Why not? I'd be a monkey because people like monkeys. I don't want to be an ape. I want to be a monkey. Like one.
You just want to be a little monkey,
like Curious George. One of them.
Aww.
I'd be like Curious George. I want to be an ape.
Just swinging from
Wait,
trees.
could you even be an ape? Because we're pretty much apes.
Yeah, well, they just said they didn't give like rules. They just said you couldn't be a human anymore.
But an ape's pretty close.
Nah, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they'd have to tell me. But as far as I know, that's still an animal. And
I watched a shit ton of
it was
movies.
also bizarre that and then he put his brother there. His brother's a dog, so apparently his dog, his brother had changed. So that was bizarre too.
Right? Yeah, he had a dog with him when he entered the.
It's his brother.
Yeah, it was his brother. And then he found a mate. Colin Farrell's character found a mate, and the mate killed the brother, killed the dog, which is the brother.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. You people probably have no idea.
We're giving little bits and pieces, and it doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
But the thing that the problem I had with the film is that they didn't really thoroughly explain these things. Like, how is he able to it was his brother? Fine, we'll accept that. But why was he with his brother? Why? Like, how did that happen? Even things like that.
Right.
Like, I don't understand.
The movie's so weird that you don't care about the loose ends, though.
No,
Like,
I was caring about so many loose ends. I was just because I was waiting for like the epilogue to explain everything, and it just didn't happen. We were left with in the fucking restaurant.
Yeah. It's a fucking bizarre movie. Bizarre. But it's gonna be one of those movies people talk about forever, and it should have been nominated for stuff, because that was filmmaking, that was the script, that was entertaining. That was not a boring movie.
I'll give it that for sure.
That was not a boring movie whatsoever. I watched a shit ton of movies. By the way, I watched this movie called Locke with Tom Hardy.
Locke with Tom Hardy, no idea.
It's called Locke, Locke. It's a guy. He plays a guy named like Tom Locke or some shit. Literally, this movie, it came out in 2013. This movie is Tom Hardy's character sitting in a car driving, commuting, pretty much home from work, and it's him taking phone calls in his car. That's the entire movie.
No, it's not.
An hour and a half of that. It is. It's fucking insane that somebody made this movie. He's literally driving in his car. Obviously, there's a story. Like, he cheated on his wife, and what he's doing, he got off work. He's driving to another city because the woman he cheated with is actually having a kid, and it's Tom Hardy's kid. So he's driving there, and the whole time he's driving, he's calling coworkers because there's a big project coming up. He told his wife that he cheated on her, and that's why he's driving. His wife keeps calling him back in the car, getting mad. His kids call to go, "What's wrong with mom?" Like, it's just phone calls. It's fucking phone calls for an hour and a half. Him driving in a car. There's no other shot other than him in a car taking a call.
So it's kind of like Colin Firth's other film, Phone Booth. Him in the phone booth the whole time.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy and Colin Farrell made this similar movie. Yeah, he made one in a phone booth. Tom Hardy made one in a car. Literally, he's taking phone. I was like, I was waiting for him. Like, I was like, what's the conclusion of this? He's just gonna get T-boned and it's it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But
That's that crazy of an ending.
That didn't even happen. It just stopped. He got to the hotel and fade to black, and that was it. The whole movie took place in a fucking car. Him taking phone calls. There wasn't even anybody else in the fucking car.
It's Phone Booth.
It was literally somebody. It was literally a movie. Filming somebody's commute. It's fucking insanity that somebody made this movie and thought that it would be interesting. Like no one cares.
I never even heard of it, so there you go. I mean,
It
like,
was listed in those hidden gems on Netflix, so I watched it, and it literally had like 90%. I don't have no idea why. It was the worst idea for a movie. It was terrible. I can't believe, dude. When you hear somebody talking on the phone, what do you immediately do? You just like you don't pay attention.
You don't pay attention.
You're
right,
not
exactly.
interested. And this whole movie was that.
Someone that was like a bit of an oversight when they were coming up with that script.
Yeah. No one cares about your phone calls. No one does. They want to talk to you.
But did you like Phone Booth though? Because I thought it was kind of interesting.
With Colin Farrell and Kiefer
Sutherland.
Yeah. Who had the great voice. He didn't sound like he was like on a phone though. His voice sounded very, very studio recorded.
Right.
Yeah, I watched like 10 independent movies in our break. I watched
another one.
I watched this movie called Concussion, which was a lesbian housewife turned hooker movie.
Clearly, I know I can't watch that one.
It actually takes place in our old stomping grounds there, Rock.
What's that?
Like the Whitestone Queens area.
Stop! Really?
Yeah. It was an independent movie.
Gary was like, oh, maybe we're in the background somewhere.
The only reason why I watched it is because that Maggie Siff was on the cover. This is Maggie Siff, Rock. You know who Maggie Siff is? She plays the psychologist in the Showtime show Billions. She's the brunette, fair-skinned. Ooh, God.
She doesn't ring a bell.
Maggie Siff is really hot. Yeah, that's why I was watching it.
I'd rather hear 5 minutes of Freddie Got Fingered coming in from Bill Lumberg. Lumberg fucked her. By the way, that's the best screen name ever. Bill Lumberg.
Yeah.
God damn. A must see. Oh, cool teacher saying a must see. Prodigal Son on Netflix. Isn't that a series? On, like,
I can't get
CBS
into.
or some shit?
I can't get into fucking series, man.
With Kerry Washington.
What else?
I'm watching the third season of The Sinner, the Jessica Biel joint. I don't quite any of those. Those are pretty good.
Is that good? What else is good?
I enjoy them. They're like, it's kind of got that American Horror Story feel where it's like each season's got its own little shtick. But Bill Pullman's in it. He's great. Bill Paxton's dead, so you can't do that joke.
Here's what I watched. And these are all Netflix movies. I watched The Lobster. I watched this movie Concussion, which is a lesbian housewife turned hooker.
Was it good?
Movie. The turned hooker movie?
Yeah, I mean like 11 o'clock good.
It's good. Yeah, these are all 11 o'clock movies. Yeah, I'm not J-O-ing. I didn't J-O.
Oh, that's what I meant.
No, because she's like she's a housewife and she's a lesbian. So her partner obviously is, but her partner is like adult. She's like she's just like not. She doesn't want to bang her, so she's like kind of just finger banging herself in a house, and she has this handyman who comes over the house, and he he's a young kid and. He's like, you know what? I see that, you guys are not you're not scissoring anymore. So how about you fucking make some money on the side? I got a girl that puts, matches girls up. You could be like a hooker. And she's like,
script writing is riveting.
I'm the one that actually pitched this, Rock, and they made it. Yeah. So she just, and she only has meetups with other women, and one of them was Maggie Siff, so you get to see Maggie Siff get a little down and dirty, which is nice. There's Maggie Siff. Anybody still watching? Maggie Siff. I'm a big Maggie Siff fan. Yeah. Here's another movie I watched was It Comes at Night. What was that one? Oh yeah, that's some sort of apocalyptic.
That's Kieran.
That was me. That's me. 11 o'clock comes at night. I watched this movie called Sweet Virginia, which is about I believe some broad hired a dude to kill her husband. And then, so the guy kills the husband, and the girl was like, okay, my husband's an entrepreneur. He's got a lot of money, so I'll just pay you what it costs to kill him with his, the stuff he has and stocks and whatever. And it turns out the guy's completely bankrupt and like 80 grand in debt, so she has no way to pay the killer who killed her husband. So it kind of turns bad for her.
She couldn't Venmo him.
Yeah, couldn't. Yeah. I watched a movie called Other Life, which was terrible, but it had this really hot Australian actress in it called Jessica D. Gao. Here she is, Rock.
Why did you pick this film?
Why? Because she had pale skin brunette was in it, Rock. I literally pick movies based on the fact that if it has a pale skin brunette in it, because that's what I find attractive.
I would love to see Netflix's algorithms for you. They're just like,
I believe when I turn it on later.
who gives a shit about the plot or the ratings as long as it has pale skin brunettes?
It'll be hidden pale skin brunette, hidden gem movies for you, Kieran.
Was this film any good?
No, this movie was brutal, but this chick is hot as fuck in it. So watch it. It's called Other Life. Came out in 2017.
I mean, look at it this way: you gave it a hit, so maybe she made like $15. Maybe, who knows?
I tell you what, she's a great actress though. She's I wouldn't know because I was just literally trying to stare at her ass the whole time. I watched the movie called Buster Mall's Heart, 2016, a Remy Malik joint. Rock.
Never heard of that.
Remy Malik is a guy.
I've heard of Remy Malik, and she's pretty famous. I've never heard of that.
He's pretty famous. He's
he
won an Oscar for being the Queen thing.
Yeah.
It's about my note about it. It's a woods movie, so it takes place in the woods.
Honestly, me saying she is not that crazy.
Yeah. No, I watched a movie called The Endless.
These are terrible. I never heard of these films.
I'm trying to find out what The Endless is the worst movie of all time. Independent piece of shit. I
can't even imagine.
It's like The Lobster, but it's explainable in the way that it's because it's shitty. It's like a cult movie. Like these two brothers grew up in a cult, and they go back and they're older now, but they go back and visit the cult for a day because they want to find out what happened to their mother.
Sure.
And it's just fucking stupid. Honestly, it's like it looked like a couple high school kids made it. That's what it was.
Terrible.
And that's somebody.
So wait, why'd you watch that?
Because again, it was labeled great on Netflix, and it was
at this point the algorithms have no idea what the fuck you like. So
it's getting all confused with the pale skin brunette shit.
Yeah,
it's just finding movies with pale skin brunettes in it.
Yeah.
The most violent year, Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain joint. Oh, that was a. I watched that.
Of course, you're watching the Chastain. Yeah, of course.
Good Time of Robert Pattinson is a great movie. Another movie that takes place in Queens, Rock, where we used to do the.
Oh yeah, that was a recent one, right? Where he put on the accent, right?
What's that?
He put on like a New York accent, right? That was like a big deal for him. Yeah. That was actually supposed to be very good. And that's on Netflix. I want to see that film.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. They're scenes shot in Adventureland off of Route 110 there.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Is it Route 110? Yeah. No, it's not Route 110. It's
it's 110.
Is it 110?
That's 110. Yeah.
Adventureland's on 110?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yes, that's 110.
Oh, Rock and I are doing local Long Island references.
Yeah.
I watched the Bad Batch 2016. That's a Jason Momoa joint.
Something Kieran never has.
Here's the characters in it. The Bad
Well, I think I'm gonna go if you two are gonna just sit around and suck each other's dicks.
What is that from?
That's from the Marriage Ref or something. Not the Marriage Ref.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's from
Scojo? That's a Scojo reference?
Scojo, right. The Bad Batch, Jason Momoa, some hot chick, Keanu Reeves, and Jim Carrey are in that movie.
Wait, Jason Momoa did another film other than Aquaman?
Yeah, he was in a movie called Bad Batch. It's like a Mad Max meets fucking
Jesus.
Driving Miss Daisy.
That's a shit elevator pitch.
Completely wrong.
Completely wrong.
I watched a movie called Bad Day in a Cut. I don't know. Caliber. A lot of British English movies on Netflix.
You know what I saw a few weeks ago?
What, Rock?
In the theaters, nonetheless. By the way, me and the missus went to the theater. We had a little post Valentine's Day outing.
Yeah.
We had someone watch The Kid.
Yeah.
So this was right after Valentine's Day. So that was a week after the the Oscars? So it was slim pickings at the theater. So we saw Bad Boys for Life.
Oh no. Is that
it was actually, honestly, it was pretty good. pretty damn good.
Like the Bad Boy reunion, like
Yeah. It was the third. It was the trilogy. It was the third part to the Bad Boy series. It was actually pretty good. Martin Lawrence, though, I don't know, man. I don't know what his deal is, but he just looks like he was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's his deal.
Yeah, that's what.
Will Smith carried that film up and down.
Whatever happened to that fucking Harley Quinn movie?
Birds of Prey. So I had no idea.
Out?
So I was talking to somebody yesterday, a kid. He's probably, what is he, 18 or so? I had no idea about this. Apparently, they had some terrible marketing because the Birds of Prey film never mentioned in the title that it's a Harley Quinn film, so people didn't know. And she's not, I guess, she's not in the comic series really part of the Birds of Prey, because Birds of Prey is a comic series,
yeah,
or whatever. And Harley Quinn's not really part of it, so they kind of worked her in, but the marketing team kind of forgot to mention in all the advertising that it's a Harley Quinn film called Birds of Prey. So
no one went and watched it.
Yeah, so everyone kind of just like missed the boat on it.
Wow, that's bad.
So yeah, they had to like completely. They redid the marketing. They show like a giant picture of her now, but somebody
got fired. Oh boy,
yeah,
that's a big.
But like, here's the thing though, man. Like, I work in film and TV and stuff like that. There are so many people. Like, there are so many people that things like that have to go through, and like, it just goes to show you how few people really give a shit or just like don't have a clue. There's tons of people that see these things before they get okayed.
Right.
No one had any idea. Like no one who was into comic books was part of these decisions.
It almost like suggests that they're trying to just sabotage it. Somebody was trying to sabotage it.
I can't imagine, man, because comic movies I know you don't watch comic movies, but they are such.
Oh,
that's the other kicker is like people kind of like know, like if you're in the comic book interest, like or you're aware that this was a Harley Quinn film coming out. But for the layman, no one knew that it was like.
The only reason why I would watch it is because she's dressed up as Harley Quinn. I don't care what the hell happens in the movie. I just want to see her in that outfit.
You just want to see Margot Robbie in the
yeah, absolutely. Margot Robbie, fucking stellar. I'd watch her do anything. I would watch her and Maggie Siff at the moment.
Cool Teacher came up with the new name for this: Netflix and Kieran. I can't believe all these films that are on Netflix that are just terrible.
Oh yeah, no. I mean that movie. Mojave was the Oscar Isaac. That movie. What is it called? Locke was terrible. What is that one? Oh. Not Bad Day. The Endless. That movie, The Endless, with the two brothers that travel back to a cult-like camp called Arcadia, where they grew up as children. That movie is the most brutal piece of shit.
It sounds terrible.
It's fucking.
Sounds
so cheap. Like the graphics in it are Rock as a graphic designer or art director. You would watch this movie and go, "Holy shit! I do better graphics for the Lunatic Radio Show." The special effects that we do for the Lunatic Radio Show are way better than
that's terrible.
It's awful.
Oh, that's sad.
And I feel bad. I'm like, here are people like these actors. They spend time like studying the lines, getting up in the movie morning to travel, and somebody like put cameras on it and out in the woods, and they filmed. And it all turned into this shit.
Yeah.
All that effort. I'm like, this was somebody's life. Somebody put so much money into this to get this made because they wrote this script, and it just turned out like that. It's gotta suck, man.
Yeah, there's something to be said. If a film doesn't make the theaters and people don't hear about it, chances are it's not that good. I'm trying to think of. The Lobster was good. I didn't even know about it. I thought that was pretty good. There's very few situations where you hear about a film, you have no idea about it, but then you watch, like, that was pretty good. And I'm trying to think about like another film though.
There are so many. I would imagine 7 or 8 out of the 10 movies I listed here are really good, but you never heard of them. Like, I've never heard of any of these movies. I'm like, where was this movie?
Yeah.
I'm like,
they just couldn't get them to theaters. I mean, there's still money. You have to pay to get.
Maybe we should divvy shit up. Like, put the stories about real fucking characters, put those streamable onto our TVs and take all the, the fucking sci-fi shit and put it in theaters. You know what I mean? Just divvy them so we don't miss something.
Right.
Because I'm not going to go to a theater and watch the lesbian housewife turned hooker movie in the theater. I'm not going to watch that in the theater. I'm not going to pay to watch that on a big screen. There's no point. You know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think like other films that like small. You know, the thing is like on Netflix, I watch series like I watch The Crown and I'm rewatching episodes because I absolutely love episodes of some series.
I watched that Gabriel Fernandez fucking documentary.
What,
series.
Fluffy?
No, it's the one about they did that Hispanic couple in California tortured their kid. Oh my god, is that fucking brutal, man? You don't even want to know. Like, don't even watch it. Brock, you have a kid. Don't even watch that.
I'm not gonna watch that.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. The things they did to that kid were unspeakable. Unspeakable shit. Like I didn't even want to.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to watch it.
No, I can't. I'm just thinking like I'm looking on Netflix now, some other series to go back to early in the show, other female comedians that are good. I've seen her only recently, and I thoroughly enjoy her work. Fortune Feinstein. You ever heard of her?
Fortune Feinstein?
Yeah. She is not she's not my cup of tea, but she is a funny woman.
Fortune not your cup of tea in a how do you mean that?
Visually.
Oh yeah. Fortune. She Fortune?
No, she's not. I don't think she is. But she's very funny. I'm just trying to I'm still my years of not people thinking that I do not like.
I know who this is.
Yeah.
She's
really good. She's really good.
She does like she's pretty famous actually.
Yeah, I didn't know about her until recently, but she's great.
Fortune Feinstein. Here she is for the people that I don't know. Fortune Feinstein. There she is.
Yeah, she's very funny. So if you ever
I'm
gonna have to check out some. If I could possibly get some time, I'd love to check out some of these films like Kieran recommends. What was the one out of all the films you would recommend watching?
I'll give you the one. I'll go through the list again and give you the ones to watch. Rock, you could. I would. You might like The Concussion, the lesbian housewife turned hooker movie.
Mm-hmm.
It comes at night. Not that great. Watch Sweet Virginia. That's a good movie. Sweet Virginia. What
about the one with the Twilight guy?
That is called. Yeah, I'll get to it. Watch Buster Mall's Heart. Watch that. The Rami Malek. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Watch A Most Violent Year. The Oscar Isaac. Watch that. That's good. Good Time is the Robert Pattinson movie. Watch that.
Yeah.
And that's it. I watched another movie called Super Dark Times, but fuck that. The movie sucked. That's about it. I gave it a good ones. The rest of them is just forgettable. I would say The Lobster is the best movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch the Lobster again because I want to see if there's shit I missed. That movie.
I need to see that Cut Gems film, the Adam Sandler. I heard that's really good.
Really?
Uncut Gems.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's on or where you could see it. I think it was in. I don't know if it was Amazon.
He got snubbed with the Oscar. Like he was supposed to be nominated.
But I heard it's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I came up with this. I don't know why I had this thought. Amish people. I would imagine Amish women give the greatest hand jobs. What do you think, Rock?
Wow. Because why? They're churning butter all day?
They churn butter. Well, I got a picture up on the thing. Look, they got a hot Amish.
Let me see.
It's coming up. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Kieran thought I better jot this down.
I literally wrote that in my notes. What I wrote in my notes, and I'll read it to you right now.
Okay.
I wrote, the reason Amish men hang around the culture of being Amish is because Amish women know how to give incredible hand jobs. That's what I wrote. That's the only reason. Because the men's lives in the Amish community is just like fucking laboring and building fucking shit and fucking out in the field fucking cutting
It's
grass.
exhausting.
It's exhausting.
One day is exhausting.
Right. And the women are just, they're making the porridge, churning the butter. You got to imagine, when, lights out after fucking 7 p.m., sun goes down. There's hand job galore going on.
What was that Harrison Ford film from like the early 90s where he like was a cop and he had to pretend to be an Amish person and like because to find a murderer. I
have no idea.
Oh my god, dude, this film was so good. But then he like kind of like got the hots for like one of the Amish women. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't remember that film. It's really good.
Harrison Ford bores me to death.
No, this was like he was still young. What the fuck was it called?
By the way, Harrison Ford is a stud. He is a man who flew an airplane and crashed it into the Riviera Golf Club. He crashed it on the golf course and walked away from it.
Right. He is the Indiana Jones.
And he didn't do it like in his 40s. He did this in his 60s. He crashed the plane. Unreal. Yeah.
Witness, it was called Witness.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Handy from an Amish lady. I would imagine that would be I'll put it on the bucket list, Rock.
Kieran's jotting information.
But why would they?
Thank you, Bill Lumberg. Witness, yes.
Bill Lumberg.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
You're not going to have those TPS reports tomorrow. I got to meet with the Bobs in the morning.
The Captive with Ryan Reynolds. Well, we all know how Kieran likes Ryan Reynolds. He wouldn't turn down that.
The Captive. Oh, is that fucking that techno-futuristic type fucking movie? I think I don't know. I watched it.
What was that film he did with Sam Jackson? That was pretty fun a few years ago. Ryan Reynolds was like the cop, and
did he have some witty quips?
Yeah. Say what again?
I can't deal with Ryan Reynolds and see. Here's a good-looking guy that's trying to be funny, and it just doesn't add up. I was like,
that film?
You're one thing or the other, buddy. Funny or good-looking, pick one.
Yeah.
You can't be both.
You can't be both.
No.
What was that film? The Hitman's Bodyguard. That was it. Yeah, that was a good flick.
Did not see that one, Rock.
Yeah. There's a lot of films out there.
Yeah, so there you go, people. So what did we learn on today's radio program? We learned that there's
a lot of films out there.
The news is deciding the 2020 presidential election.
It's true.
Probably until we get to the Trump versus whoever the asshole is, or asshole versus asshole part.
This is the ass. It sounds like a terrible Godzilla film.
I'm still rooting for Mini Mike Bloomberg to make it.
Yeah, see what happens. Yeah, he's gonna have to pick up the pace.
He's gonna spend just fucking start spending billions. Like Mike Bloomberg could spend $6 billion and it really wouldn't care.
He could literally run just like commercials all day, all night on TV channels.
The fucking audacity of Mike Bloomberg last debate, he ran a Mike Bloomberg commercial during the debate.
Right.
No one can afford that. He did it though.
Well, you know what's weird though? His record-setting amount of ad spent money is $3.5 million, and I'm saying to myself, that is fucking chump change. Like he could easily spend triple that, no problem.
He's spent $400 million. That's what he spent so far. $400 million.
Yeah, on everything.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and he said he's. I don't know. I think Mike Bloomberg's actually the best candidate out there, but.
He's just got to speak better.
He's got to speak better, and he got into the race too long. Too late. So I don't think it's going to work out. He's the best candidate out there, though. The other guys stink. I like Bernie. He's a little fucking nuts. I don't know if I can vote. I feel like if I voted for Bernie, like all my money's going to go away for some reason. Like I'm not going to have any money anymore or something. But I'll have health care. Like that's not...
Right, so at least you won't die.
But do you like healthcare free for everybody? But don't you think if that's a thing that the healthcare that is going to be given during that time is going to be kind of generic and shitty?
Well, apparently not. I mean, it works in other countries, in other first world countries.
Yeah, but but I don't want like the doctors to get lazy. Like if I need an open heart surgery and the guy's just like,
I gotta do this again.
Come on, man. I just did like 40 of them this week. Yeah, open heart surgery is something should be like, once a month. If I feel like it's free healthcare for everybody, people are just gonna go get open heart surgery because they can.
I don't think that's how that works. I don't think so.
I need to get an MRI on my shoulder, Rock, because all those years of jerking off, I blew my rotary cuff. And I looked how much, like,
instead of tennis elbow, you got jerk off elbow.
with my whole healthcare coverage right now, my what do they call it, Rock? They call my premium. No, my
your coccyx bone.
No, like the MRI, I have to pay out of pocket because I'm not hitting my what is it called? It just slipped my mind. Whatever. MRI free.
Yeah, you got to pay full. You got to pay because it's not covered.
$2,500 for a fucking MRI.
You had to do $2,500?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna stay with the broken fucking arm. The arm's just gonna remain the way it is.
Oh man, that's terrible.
It's not fucking up my golf game. I can always just blow loads into socks for the rest of my life. I don't need to.
Thank goodness we got that sorted out. I'm surprised though. Whatever medical coverage you have, it doesn't cover MRIs. That seems kind of basic.
I think next week we're gonna host a show like Pete Davidson does stand up. It's a lunatic radio show.
It'll sound like a show from like 2003 with terrible audio.
Overmodulation.
Yeah, just.
All right.
This has been fun.
I promise everybody, if you're listening to the radio program, that I will do a show until I go on vacation in April. Every week. I'm going on vacation in April. I'll do a show all the way up.
Where you going?
I'm going on a golf trip of a lifetime, Rock.
Wow, that sounds pretty incredible. Where are you going?
I'm playing Pebble Beach again.
Oh.
What? Pebble Beach is awesome.
You've been there a bazillion times now.
I know. I have zero money and I've played Pebble Beach. It'll be 6 times.
That's insane.
Yeah. People don't get to play it once in their lifetime.
No. You're just going there.
Not only am I playing Pebble Beach twice, I'm playing Spyglass and another one called Spanish Bay. Then we might hop on a plane and fly down to San Diego to play Torrey Pines.
Wow.
I have no money, by the way. I have zero money.
Hey, by the way, Bill Lumberg's hot of the week is Eliza Schlesinger.
Fuck yeah, man. Her fucking special was good. She talked about women shit too. I like that Elijah. She's got a badunkadunk too, that Elijah Schlesinger.
You should give her a call. See what's up.
She's married to a chef, Rock. I'm going.
You looked it up.
Who, me? I didn't look it up.
Yeah, you looked it up.
Yeah, no, I'd bang her.
Married to a chef?
Married to a chef.
That means he's never around, so she'll need time.
He's always cooking, right? He's always cooking.
Yeah.
So I might have to put something.
I'm a podcast. I'm always around.
I might have to put something in her oven. You know what I'm saying, Rock?
Oh, I get it.
We'll bake something in her.
How's your wife and my kids? Is that what you're gonna say to them?
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later. Follow us on the Instagrams at Lunatic Radio and on Twitter at Lunatic Radio. Until next week, Rock. What if final word? Go.
Maybe I'll see you next week.
Are you wearing a Weekend at Bernie's shirt?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. Hold on. I'm wearing Illmatic.
Good for you. Good for you.
All right. I think that's it. We're done. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, people. That was shitty.